Yeah, I think me and Andres have been fighting for 2 years. No, listen, I say that in joking. I think Andres works incredibly hard. He is the guy that is the first and last off the training pitch. He's so desperate to get a chance and take a chance. He's one of our own. He's a homegrown that was had a really successful youth career, and he knows he struggled to try and get going here and get a place, and I think he's had more chance with myself here in the position that he wants to play this year than he's ever had. So I really believe in him, and I really believe he has a talent individually that can go and create his own goals and go past players. And you see that moment when he creates the first chance for Munsef in the wide area. He's a really good crosser of the ball, but he can come inside as well. You look at the goal, he comes inside on his left foot and hits the goal. And I'm really happy for him because he's one of the guys that just deserves to get going. And I believe in the younger players. I believe in these guys, especially our own. And I'm really happy for him today. His first goal at Yankee Stadium. We just congratulated him in the dressing room. And I think those moments are really important because as a group that is really together and as a group that is really believes in each other, on a night where we win and one of our own gets his first goal at Yankee Stadium, it's a really important moment to celebrate, and I hope he goes and celebrates it with his family. It's a small moment, but for somebody that hasn't really had so many of them, I think it's really important for him.
Michael Allen, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. I just curious what you said to the players after the game, how you build on this going into this next stretch of home games. How do you make the positives keep coming?
Yeah, I think it's down to us all. I think one thing this season has taught us is that maybe performance isn't enough. Maybe tactics and shape and the ability to play a style isn't enough, because we've had so many games like Minnesota, like Charlotte, where we dominate the ball, where the XG is high. We can debate this all day, performance. I've sat here so many times and said I thought we deserved more. Now we're in a headspace where we just got to go and take it. And we're going to suffer a little bit like we did today in moments, and we're going to need everybody, and we're going to have to roll with the punches at times. And all this does is gives us an opportunity to put 2 wins back to back. We've also been here before where we've won one and we've lost the next. So it's going to take a clear mindset, it's going to take a real desire, it's going to take everybody together, and I say that coaching staff, front office, back office, playing staff, fans, everybody, to really, really push hard, because it feels good now. It feels good. We win against Vancouver on Saturday. Hopefully it looks a little bit better. Hopefully it looks good compared to what it's looked like, and that'll give us an opportunity going into the break and 3 more home games. So yeah, enjoy it. Maybe enjoy it for 10 more minutes, but it's back to work, because we're not second, and we're not second getting closer to first here. I'm realistic, and I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I'm really proud of the guys. I thought there were some excellent individual performances, and I thought there were some excellent partnerships that played really, really well together tonight.
Leo?
Coach, right here. Leo Coyote, Skyscraper Blues. Congrats on the win and thank you for your time. Speaking of individual performances that stood out, it was a really good showing for the recent signings, and particularly Risa and Bakrak combining for the second goal. So my question is, how different do you think the season would have been and where you guys would be on the table had those acquisitions been made sooner?
I suppose the end of the season will show us that. It's not ideal to be trying to gel a team in a 2-week period, which is what we had. And it's not an excuse. I would have loved the 7-week pre-season where I can go to the Palm Springs tournament where we played St. Louis, Portland, all of these teams. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. I'm not going to make an excuse over it. I think tonight Bert Risa showed why we brought him here and the real quality that he has. I thought his partnership with Thiago Martins was excellent. And ultimately, listen, it's been a difficult week for us all. It's been a difficult week for those two, because between those two and Maxime Chenot, it's been a real tight, a tight threesome of sharing the moments in training. Maxime was excellent for Bert Risa in the way that he, for a short period of time, gave him his experience. And those two guys were really disappointed that Maxime decided to leave us in a difficult moment. So I think ultimately Munsef is going to score goals here. I think, you know, we're disappointed when he misses chances against Minnesota. I'm disappointed when, you know, he didn't put the first header in. But I also say to him, the best nines, they just move on after missing chances and they put the next one in. And I'm delighted that he scored tonight because he was frustrated after Minnesota. So for him to score tonight is good for him. I thought Andres Pereira showed why he brings a different dynamic to our midfield tonight, and I thought he was really aggressive, really hungry, and he's a real character in the group. The group have really took him on and really integrated him as a. He's as aggressive in training as he is here, and I think that's going to help us.
John, go ahead.
Nick, just it seems like you said, you always talk about performance and you expect XG and getting this and that at the end, but it seemed like there was just an extra sharpness. You were getting into spaces, playing good balls, and obviously getting the 2 goals you were finishing. So it just seemed like the team, in the way that they came out and attacked and played, it just seemed like that they responded to that sense of urgency, knowing how important this game was, and being able to, instead of you just having to sit up here and talk about a performance, going out there and doing it, especially offensively, and in how much possession you had and just the aggression in the way you attacked.
Yeah, I think you know, listen, it's a good marker of the season. I'm not actually a really big data guy. I'm not really driven by data, but ultimately when you come off and you feel like you've played well and you've lost the game, our analysts and our data department give it to me, I think, to make me feel better. And it's sort of like, is this a half of a, you know, oh, brilliant. So I've used it more this year than I've ever used it because, you know, when you've got a good XG but you lose 3-1, it's a small little bit in there. Yeah, I think I felt it in the dressing room before the game that the guys were very much in the mindset of who cares what the game looks like, we're just going to go and win it. And they're really aware that these head-to-heads are huge for us now. You know, games are big, but Vancouver is massive. But this one is a 6-pointer. Chicago will be a 6-pointer. Red Bull will be a 6-point game because, you know, of the situation we put ourselves in. So yeah, I think I was frustrated in the first parts of the game because I knew we could score a goal in this game like Muncef's. But Burke and Matt, and you know, they're playing like so much space in behind them. Like, just put the ball in there. This guy will run all the time. And we lacked that in the start of the season with maybe a Tales or a Santi or a Richie or, you know, those guys that would come towards the ball and want to play. This guy is going to run in behind now and is going to stretch the spaces, and it seems like Montreal want to come man for man with us when the ball's with the goalkeeper. Put the ball in behind them. You know, we want to win football games. So I think tonight I said in my huddle before the game, whatever it takes, we have to go take the win now. I've been watching the Hard Knocks with the Jets, and listen, don't hold this to me. I'm not going to tell you who, but I'm not a Jets man. But I've been watching the Hard Knocks, and the head coach says, "All gas, no brakes," and I love this saying because I think for us, in these last, you know, especially these next 4 home games, we have to play with all gas and no brakes.
Great. We'll go to Walter right here.
Hello, Coach. I'm Walter Muñoz from Derby Sports TV. God bless you. Congratulations for the game today. So tomorrow you wake up with 3 points. I think everything is gonna be better. The situation is not easy, like you say, but how you will be working in the mentality in all the players, because they got 7 more games, 5 in home. The big opportunity is in your hands. How you will be working in the mentality with all the players?
I just have to be really. We have to be real. We have to face it. We have to look at it and see what the positives are. Yeah, we have home. We're going to need all our fans. We're going to need the atmosphere of Yankee Stadium, because tonight when we were under pressure, we could hear the fans. But we also got to be really realistic. We're going to have to fight, and we're going to have to really work hard, and we're going to have to really go and take. This season has showed us nobody's going to give us anything. And I felt great after we beat Toronto 5-0. You know, the shoulders are back and the chest's up, and that's it. It's all fixed. And then we lost against Red Bull, we lost against Minnesota, and we lost against Cincinnati. And then we're flat, you know, on the floor again. So for us, it's about, we don't feel sorry for ourselves, we don't look back. It's Vancouver now. If I can get this done as quick as possible, I'll get in there and watch the second half of Chicago, Vancouver, to make sure that we're prepare the guys, roll the team again, and hopefully we get the fans and the Yankee Stadium effect to make sure that we go back to back, going into a game that we're hugely hungry for, which is a derby.
Final one, Mark, go ahead.
Thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win. You made some decent changes in the starting 11, giving Yason and Ledesma the start today, and you got it right after tweaking with the lineup over the past couple of matches. But one big takeaway was the omission of Thales Magno from both the starting 11 and not making any cameos off the bench. So, I mean, have there been any conversations with Thales or with your staff regarding him and his role going forward, considering that he's arguably the most valuable player in the squad and the wages that he's currently on, and the fact that he's been seeing less and less minutes as the season has gone on? Have you had any conversations with him or with your staff of how you plan to utilize him going forward?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we speak every day. We work together every day. I take the responsibility of our players is really important to me. And the younger guys, like I said about Andres, is my job to get them going. It's the same with Thales. And but I also feel that it's those guys' responsibility to take care of themselves. And I don't say that like Thales isn't. I have an incredible relationship with Thales. He's had some difficult moments this year. He's had some really good moments. And the one thing I can assure, and I know there's frustration around with him as well, in his head, because he wants to be the guy, he wants to score the goals. He is working incredibly hard to be the best he can be. He is investing in every way, whether it be in the gym, on the training field, with the food, with the analysts, with everybody. Thales will be... Listen, if I told you that Andres Yasin didn't dress for the Minnesota game and nearly smashed the door of my office off the hinges, we have a squad now, and we're going to need everybody. And I just said in the dressing room then, Luis didn't play, Matt did today. There's many Thaleses in our group now because, Alfonso Martinez didn't dress today. James Sant is going to be back on Saturday, so now I have another problem because now two don't dress. And everybody is working hard, everyone is showing real fight, everybody is together. There is not one guy in that dressing room that isn't all in for this team and isn't all in for trying to make the playoffs, whether they're in the team or out the team. Everybody in that room now is all in for the team and isn't just looking at themselves when they want to play, and when they have to sit for a game, there's huge problems. No. Everybody is in. And Thales is 100% in. And he's going to work and fight, and he will get a moment. He will get a moment. We actually had a fight. Listen, I don't mind it, Sherry. We have a 5v5 tournament in the training where the players fight. You go on inside training, you'll see some of it. Thales is killing the 5v5s. Killing it. Everyone wants him on the... His moment will come this season. I really believe in him, and I will tell him day after day, even when he's not in the team, your moment will come, but you have to keep working and you have to keep fighting. When your moment comes, it could be the most important moment of the season. I told you I fight with Andres. His moment just came then. And I'm not genius, I just know the way the game works. Kevin O'Toole didn't play for a whole season, and all of a sudden we flipped the system, put him in a 5, he rolled all the way, didn't lose a game until the Eastern Conference Final. My job is to just keep working, keep fighting. And I've said before, I will fight with every ounce of my body to make sure this team gets into the playoffs. I'm an honest guy and I'm a fair guy. And whatever the result is and whatever the situation is, I will work 24 hours a day to fight to make sure this club... I worked for this organisation for 17 years, and if I'm cleaning the floor in Manchester or I'm taking the team in New York, I will make sure that this team is prepared every day. And I'll tell you now, when I walk in that locker room, win, lose or draw, I'm incredibly proud of all of those guys, and I'll tell you why. Because there's many teams in MLS that would fall apart and throw the towel in. And this team has fought every moment, and I agree, hasn't been good enough at times. We haven't scored enough goals, we gave cheap goals away, we've been poor on set play. What work to do? Still now. But the one thing you can't question is the heart and the desire of everybody within our football club, from the top right to the bottom. And I say that with every ounce of my body. I'm proud to be part of this, and I will continue to fight, start in Vancouver on Saturday.
Great, thank you everyone.